Life is dull, it's nothing but one big lull. Then presto, you do a skull and find that you're reeling. She sighs and you're feeling like the toy on a string. And your heart goes ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding.
So, you talked to a big movie screen.
You know, somehow I don't think House would be too happy to hear you call him that. Call it a hunch, but I have a feeling someone with his ego might just find your comments a little bit insulting. If the Securitron start to give you funny looks, then you'll know I'm right.
But, well, no one's really seen him.
True, but at this point I don't think it matters. He's got control over the robots and that's what's important. He could be a talking Deathclaw in disguise for all I care. Bottom line is, we've got an opportunity here. Instead of trying to beat the man, we could try and work for him. That's a lot of money we're looking at and a lot of shit that comes with it.
If someone promised me all the lights of Vegas, I'd consider it too. But I wouldn't say yes until I saw what was behind the curtain.
Or behind the screen in this case. I think it's safe to say we're not the first suckers to try our luck with this guy.
That guy Benny was a piece of work.
Oh, don't get me started with him. He was planning on taking it all for himself. Someone needs to explain to him the size of his balls isn't necessarily proportional to the size of his brain.
That Benny's a slippery fucker. Feeling like I'm walking down a yellow brick road and there's bad news at the end.
Oh, trust me, I don't think he's the one we have to worry about. Not for much longer, anyway. Just leave Benny to me. I'm gonna turn this whole situation into a sport, except we're gonna be passing bullets instead of balls. Question is, what are we gonna do about House? Veronica, what do you think?
I was surprised he only had the 2 robot sex slaves.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Anyways, for the time being, I don't see why we can't juggle our time between House and the NCR. Once their objectives start to clash, we can make a decision then. So don't shoot me just yet, Boom, especially when I'm taking you guys out for dinner.
Fine.
And holy Christ, look at this place! And I thought the chairman liked to show off. This is basically one massive middle finger to anyone who can't afford to get into the strip. And is this drinkable water? Wow, people are still killing each other over this stuff less than a mile away, and here they are pissing it into the air. If raiders ever infiltrate the strip, these guys are getting beheaded first, I'm telling you now. There should be some kind of tax against all of this, not necessarily based on how rich you are, mind you, just based on how much you're showing off. It would be the only way to stop less fortunate people from vandalizing this place. But until then, be on your best behavior, all of you. I don't care how rude these guys get, I do not want to get thrown out in the middle of my meal.
Beg your pardon, but could I trouble you to turn over your weapons?
Okay, I know how these things go now. Leave all the weapons at the door and hope no one tries to start a fight regardless. Well, you do realize we still have a robot and a dog with us, right? So if any of you fuckers feel like trying anything, I shall refer you to them.
My deepest apologies for the slightest inconvenience. You have my assurance that everything will be returned upon your departure. But we simply can't have anyone waving their weapons around in the hotel. It's not the atmosphere we wish to cultivate. Please, enjoy your stay.
Yeah, if we were any less civilized, we would be resisting at this point. I bet you guys have fun stories about people who tried that. Although, judging by how you're not even trying to search us, I can only assume this is all just a formality. Either that, or you recognize us as the VIPs we absolutely are. Wait a minute. Why the hell does this guy have a gun? And he's waving it around. Hey, security, what is this bullshit?
You watch yourself around, Mr. Gunderson.
Hey, man, don't you— Whoa there! Point that thing somewhere else, you prick!
Hey there!
What? Hey, are you responsible for this?
Beg your pardon, stranger, but I'm looking for someone. You ain't seen a young man with dark brown hair and a white hat on lately, have you?
No, I just got here. And that was a great description, by the way. I'm sure it would narrow things down real nice.
Ain't nobody got one darn piece of news about my boy. Not one lousy speck of information. Ain't got one Brahmin unaccounted for across a dozen ranches. But I'm here for an hour and my own son just up and disappears on me.
Yeah, and whose fault was that? I guess it depends on how old your son is, but either way, it's down to you two. What's his name?
My boy, Ted. He was right here. I didn't leave him but a minute. I told him to stay put while I talked some things over with the White Glove folks. He was never one to stay tied down to a spot, though. Gets that from his mother. Got most of my staff out looking for him now. I'd be out myself, but I keep hoping he'll show up back here. Of course, if he does that, I'll whoop him till his skinny hide turns to leather for putting me through this. But that don't mean I wouldn't be grateful.
Oh, that's a great idea. Is that what you did the last time he went missing? Because that might explain a few things. So, you must be Mr. Gunderson. Or should I say Mr. Exception to the rule? I don't think having your man over there holding a shotgun is making you any friends here.
Made me a special arrangement with the hotel. They want to do business with me, they got to play by my rules. A lot of people out there resent success. Might want to take a swipe at me. This makes them think twice. If I'd have been thinking, though, I'd have had him watching my boy instead. Then none of this would have happened.
Alternatively, you could have hired a second guy to watch your son. That would have made you even more popular around here. So who the hell are you anyway? Some kind of rancher?
Yep, got a whole mess of Brahmins to my name. Bighorners, too. Used to just have the one ranch, but land was easy to grab before the soldiers moved in. Before I knew it, I was running one of the biggest ranching operations east of California. Now, everywhere I go, folks I never even met shake my hand and call me Mr. Gunderson. Don't quite know what to make of that.
Oh, go on, please. Keep pretending to be humble. You have me completely fooled there. God, I swear, if you're gonna be a rich prick, at least be genuine about the whole thing. It gives me a reason to hate you. So what kind of business are you doing here anyway? People tend to lose their fortunes here, not make them.
That's between me and the White Glove Society. But let's just say they control the food supply around here, and I got lots of food to give. But that ain't as welcome as you might think.
Yeah, I can imagine a number of problems they might have with you. Number one being your hired gun and his, gun over there. Then again, I'm not sure I can read the mind of the White Glove Society, whatever the hell that means.
That's what they call themselves, the folk that run this place. They're the ones dressed all fancy with their bow ties and shiny dresses. Some of them got masks, too. Real hard to trust folks like that. A couple of them show their faces, and that's who I do my business with. I don't talk to none of the other ones.
Well, you have a point there. I mean, I doubt the ones with masks are just hiding a massive shaving scar they gave themselves this morning. Say, I can keep an eye out for your son if you're willing to pay.
I'd be more than happy to have you. Heck, I'll hire anybody with a pair of legs and at least one good eye at this point. There'd be a lot of money in it for you if you can get him back to me safe. And if he ain't, you can bet I'll pay for the names of the sons of bitches responsible.
Sure, as long as you're not too picky about the legitimacy of those names. Who knows, maybe the amount of effort I put in will be proportional to the amount you pay. I'll leave you to think about that one. Come on guys, I'm getting hungry. A man can't work on an empty stomach.
I'll be here.
Why am I not surprised?
Hello there.
Yeah, we're not gonna order any drinks here, thanks. The price you pay for drinks at the bar are usually twice as much as what you get at the dinner table. How stupid do these guys think we are? By the way, Boo and Cass, you two do not meet the dress codes in here. I had a quick look when I was booking the tables, and as you can see, everyone's wearing tuxedos and shit. I did warn you guys, but no, apparently you're not into dress up. At least Veronica made an effort. How's that dress fitting you?
It's just my taste. Thank you.
Don't thank me, thank whoever left that thing in the wardrobe. I only found 3 holes in it, so you are one lucky lady. In fact, let's just make one thing clear. The only reason I'm spending all this money on this dinner is so that I can get you guys to help me with Crocker's little dilemma later.
Boomers are a mite twitchy.
Exactly. So eat as much as you can. This might be your last meal. Besides, I pay for the buffet service, and it's cheaper in the afternoon. So between us, we could probably bankrupt this place. They said the food they serve here is the best money can buy, so appreciate it, people. And don't, whatever you do, get too used to this. It's a one-off, okay? As soon as we're done here, it's back to gecko meat and canned beans for everyone. Well, maybe, if we do something really worth celebrating, like winning a stupid amount of caps on the casino floor. Although I don't think we'll be too welcome around here if that happened. What's it to you anyway? You don't even eat anything. Look, I'll worry about team morale. You worry about how to set more people on fire. In the meantime, try not to look too intimidating. It ruins my appetite. Oh hey, it's you! I totally remember your name.
How do you do?
Well, I sure hope you're gonna keep your promise to serve my cyberdog as well. I didn't pay you extra for nothing.
Welcome to the Ultra-Luxe. I do hope it exceeds your every expectation.
Visually, yes. I'm still waiting for the food part. Well, I have to say, I'm surprised someone of your status will be working as reception as well.
I do, but one can hardly call it work. I think of myself as a caretaker rather than a common laborer. I suppose it is a labor of love if it can be called labor at all. We at the White Glove Society are all responsible for maintaining the beauty and class of the Ultra-Luxe. And as its founder, I suppose it falls to me to decide how we go about it.
Wow, do take it easy there, sister. I could literally see the sweat forming on your brow. Oh no, wait, that's just your imagination. Everything you just said there was basically a long-winded way of saying you work as management. So I suppose you're the one dealing with someone like Gunderson. What's he here for anyway?
What else? Mr. Gunderson and I have been discussing his livestock. It's put us in a rather delicate position, you see, his coming here. Not that we aren't grateful for his generous offer. But our executive chef, Philippe, has transformed Brahmin steak into a delicacy. He really is a genius. Everyone wants it. But a delicacy is just that, delicate. If everyone can get it, it ceases to be a delicacy. It becomes a perfectly ordinary staple. And if the gourmand served staples, it would no longer draw the caliber of people it deserves. It would be a diner or a family restaurant. So as much as we'd all love for there to be enough steak for everyone, I'm afraid there are more important things to consider.
Good lord, I've never heard elitism being preached in such an eloquent and polite way before, so well done, I guess? I'm afraid I'm a bit too average to offer any opinion you would care about there. Although I wonder if you can shed light on the missing person fiasco in a similar manner.
This again? I thought this was all settled. I answered every one of that investigator's questions to his satisfaction and gave all the help I could. I know our reputation hasn't always been spotless, but that's all in the past now. How some people can't get over it is beyond me. For the last time, the White Glove Society has never and will never consume human flesh for any reason. It's written in the charter.
Whoa, stop right there. I swear I just heard you combine the word consume and the phrase human flesh in that sentence. Look, I'm hungry, and I've eaten a lot of less than desirable things before, but I'm not that hungry.
Now, didn't I already tell you that we don't do that sort of thing? We do not engage in cannibalism here under any circumstances. Though we haven't always been the White Glove Society. There was another time, a dark time, when we went by a different name. But that's all changed now. We've evolved past such base impulses since settling into our new home. I've seen to it that those days are behind us.
Firstly, you brought that up, not me. Secondly, the fact that you had to clarify about that rule in the charter doesn't fill me with confidence. And thirdly, is it too late to get a refund? God almighty, the weirdness just doesn't end around here. Now we've got an actual investigator involved?
There was an investigator who came through here last week. He'd been hired by a young man whose bride-to-be went missing during their stay here. Well, you can already guess what probably happened, can't you? It seems perfectly likely that she got cold feet and ran off. And that young groom just didn't have a clue, the poor dear.
Hold on a minute. Who is this you're talking about? I'm looking for a missing man. God, I have to say, this is not looking good for you and your charter.
A man? Well, then this can't be. 2 disappearances in my hotel? What will people say? I'm going to have a word with my staff about security on the premises. Whether these people are found or not, our guests simply must feel safe in their own rooms.
Never mind that. I'm not feeling so safe right now anymore. I think I want to have a word with this investigator. If he doesn't know about this other disappearance, then now would be the time to tell him. I don't usually outsource my work like this, but I don't want to stay here any longer than I have to, thank you. Can I see him?
Why, yes, I think so, if he hasn't checked out yet, that is. I had our maitre d' Mortimer offer him a complimentary room for as long as it took for him to be satisfied. You see, the White Glove Society remains the very picture of courtesy, even in the face of such impolite accusations. We have nothing to hide here.
I sure hope so. Either that or you're bluffing. This is hardly a game of poker, lady, and I'm not really in the mood for gambling my own flesh. As I keep telling all the wild animals that I've come across, I don't taste good, and if they don't get the message, then I shoot them in the face. I'll just leave you with that.
Ta-ta.
So, anyone still feeling hungry? Yeah, of course you would.
Guess it's leftovers for me.
Having said that, I have paid for this already.
That's your excuse? Just when I think I'd seen it all.
Hey now, I'm already prone to making assumptions. I don't need you guys making it worse. Besides, I'm pretty sure Eddie can analyze the sample. And if that doesn't work, feed some of the food to Rex. If he starts biting your leg, then you know something's wrong. And hell, if you're still worried, order the vegetarian option for fuck's sake. I'm assuming this is our table. Now all of you sit down and relax. Order whatever you like as long as you stop making a fuss, or this really will be the last time I make an effort on something like this. I'm just gonna have a quick word with that investigator, so start without me, okay? These fancy places always take at least 5 years preparing the food anyway, so it's not like I'm gonna miss much. And remember, if they show you the wine list, just go with whatever they recommend. It's so much easier that way. God, I hope Cass doesn't order whiskey. They'll definitely throw us out for that. These guys are high-class. Whoa there! Yeah, no offense, lady, but you guys should perhaps rethink the whole mask thing. I mean, I have no problems with you wearing that in an opera, or perhaps when torturing someone for information, but here, it's just putting me off. And call me unsophisticated, but I don't think that's how you're supposed to carry a cane. I mean, you make it look like a sword or something. It's just a suggestion, so please, let us finish our food and then throw us out for being uncultured, okay? Hi there.
Good day. How may I be of service, sir?
Yeah, your boss lady just told me you have a private investigator staying as a guest here. She didn't sound very happy about it, but hey, it could have been a food critic or worse, a health inspector. God, maybe he's working as all three. You do know who I'm talking about, right?
Private investigator. Ah, yes, I remember the gentleman. This was about the missing bride. Such an awful thing. I do hope he finds her whereabouts. If I might pry, have you found something that will help his investigation?
Maybe? Look, I don't think you want to get too involved in this. My client isn't exactly in a good mood. In fact, he's in the shooting people in the balls kind of mood right now, so anything you say is just gonna muddy the water. Suffice to say, I'm investigating something else, but I think I could cooperate with this other guy and maybe even steal his contract.
You are? Nothing so grim as his investigation, I hope. Now, ordinarily, we don't give out guest information, but I think given the circumstances, he'll want to speak with you. Let's see. He hasn't checked out yet. If you head back to the hotel rooms, his will be one floor directly above you after you exit the lobby. I hope we can put this whole matter to rest at last.
If we can find a body, then yeah, I guess you'll be right. Honestly, if this happened anywhere other than this place, I wouldn't even bother to look. People disappear all the time in the wasteland. So, in a way, you guys have yourselves to blame for raising expectations.
Indeed.
Now, that wasn't supposed to be a compliment, but obviously you're gonna act like it was. You guys are way too upper class to survive anywhere other than here. Men like you like to hide behind walls, thinking that chaos won't reach them. Well, make no mistakes, I brought the chaos with me. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure House knows what he's getting himself in for by hiring me. If he thinks I'm somehow gonna be more obedient than Benny was, then he clearly is not as intelligent as he thinks he is. I'm like a ballistic missile without a user interface. You can punch in a few coordinates and hope I end up where you wanted me to go. But if I don't like it, I might just do a 180. And guess what? You'll need more than just a bunker to survive me. But that's all still to come. For now, let's see if this investigator is any good. If he's spending a whole week on this case, then clearly he isn't. Alternatively, he could be dead. Well, sorry, Private Eye, but this is an occupational hazard. Okay, this is the part where I get way too curious for my own good and subsequently add more people to... Oh, you came in way too early!
Oh look, I've got a gun!
Okay, I get it. I shouldn't be carrying that. Now this is perfectly legitimate. Okay. Sorry, buddy, but if you keep this up, I'm gonna have to give you guys a negative review. You don't want that. Okay, apparently you do. You don't think I'm serious, do you? Okay.
1 star out of 5. Worst room service ever.
I'm gonna get you fired. Ow! This is not how you treat your customers, Jenkins. God, did they teach you nothing at Waiter Academy? If you have a problem with your working conditions, speak to human resources like everyone else. I'm gonna rip that tuxedo of yours to pieces and it's gonna come out of your paycheck this month. Just you wait. I hope you have decent healthcare with this job, cause you're gonna need it. Man, I take back everything I said about elitism, cause you guys ain't got shit. I'm still gonna leave a negative review, of course, and I'm keeping the tip. I know I'm a dickhead, I have a reputation to uphold.